gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Listen, y'all, we're just going to start off. Probably about, 2 months ago, we talked about Puff Daddy and it was about the domestic violence abuse thing.
Did a whole segment about it.
And people has been responding, and then all of a sudden, y'all, not all of a sudden, but now Puff ass is in jail. RICO charges. That Negro ain't getting out of jail no time soon. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and how a lot of y'all can't sell y'all souls for the dollar. You gotta be able to have some integrity.
I mean, yeah.
Because
that's what it boils down to.
And people they give up their assholes for
wow.
for a few dollars. Hey, that's what we're hearing.
Why you gotta sell that part of you in order? Because I feel like that was the only thing for sale. Like that was the only thing we wanted to buy there.
Ooh.
Like, why is that attached to the soul?
That is a very goddamn true statement. And it happens a lot. So we know it wasn't one or two. There was a lot of people getting that ass.
No, it's almost like a gang initiation, right? Like if we wanted to be a part of this gang, then we gotta fight you in type of thing. I feel like it was along those same types of terms. Like, now you want to be a part of this group. This how you gotta come in. We need that rare situation. Yeah. We need that rare hole. Yeah. Oh. And it's just like, why are you tied that to the soul? Like that was the soul tie. That's what I feel like.
And you know the other crazy thing is, that was a choice. How?
A choice for who?
For the person who's being. Somebody says, "Listen, I'm gonna give you $50 million if you give up that ass."
Yeah, no, that's a crazy choice, though.
But sometimes it's not a choice.
It's like my whole family was leaning on me. I've been working on this project for how long? I'm supposed to change everybody's life. And now you talking about because I don't want to lay down with you. Y'all would have had cheaper sex. I'm just saying. A lot of people, have sex for less.
Happy meals.
Shit, I don't know. But less than, right?
Yes.
And so the choice, I get it. Sometimes the choice, you just feel like you're in a pickle. Because, it's going to be shame if you come out of the situation. You've been working a year with this man and then nothing comes from it. That looks weird to the family. Everybody be like, well, what happened to them? And then, when the family starts to build you up to a certain level, it's hard to just come off of that. People are traumatized just coming down from those highs like that.
That is very
Some
true.
people, don't know what to do when they can no longer be what people expected of them.
Yeah, that's it right there. What people expected of you. Because you were going out to make something big of yourself.
Yeah,
and so
true.
You have to create this idea of being big before you even get that. So you start talking to your friends, your family. Hey, check me out here. Hey, look for me there. And then what happens when you're just not going to come? Or it's not going to show up? Because they're going to dangle that in front of you.
Yeah, you've been doing this for a year and a half. Ain't nothing happened yet. And you're still like, okay. But then you get the guy who's controlling the purse. He comes up to you. And again, some of these guys look, I use this analogy. You come from Nebraska, you just like, I'm going to New York City, I'm going to make my dreams come true. You get off the bus, you look up, like Mary Tyler Moore, when she did it in Minneapolis, and said, I'm going to make it after all. But then you see you across the street, the wolves do, you say, oh, from Nebraska. Don't even have it in here. You're a tourist. You don't know no better. I'm going to say your dream. And then they approach you. Again, you don't just grab somebody and force them to do it.
No, you have to sell them a dream. You do. You have to present something. You have to create something. And a lot of these people, they made something off of these, it wasn't just like nothing that was
very,
happening.
very rarely does that come, you don't end up with something.
Yeah. No,
sometimes your life is way better than it was beforehand, but you had to sell something to get there.
Yeah, and you're just like, what type of industry did we create? Because ultimately, we're like creating these entertainment pieces, right? We're the people who's there. we're in the front and in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, why and when did we create this type of industry where, we just can't pass through it as regular people? Mm-hmm. Why is the price so high? And, people made their choice. Some of them paid the price. They did. They did. And it was a hefty price. And it's hard to sleep at night.
The only thing that keeps you warm is like, I got money in the bank.
I'm not going back to where I came from.
A lot of people have had a lot shittier luck in life and have had a lot worse people who have had a lot less resources do a lot worse to them than the people who have made it through dealing with Diddy. I'm not minimizing.
It's just Diddy, right?
No, not just Diddy. I'm just saying. It's just people in general.
Yeah.
People have had to deal with, have had to eat worse shit.
Mm-hmm.
For a generic ass job.
Yeah, so when somebody dangles like that big prize in front of you and say, hey, it's gonna cost you
a little bit.
Yeah, but you kind of sold yourself for less. If people gonna start weighing in the options, and clearly people weighed in and they took that big prize.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have the option to rescind it, but you never know. When you're in those situations and then your ages, take that's a lot to do with it. That's why you're coming into the industries when you're so young.
Mm-hmm.
Why they always want the young person coming in. No, because I gotta try to take a little bit more from you over the course of your career. It's just like bringing a young person into the company. I'm not going to offer you the same thing I'm going to offer somebody else who's been here for 20 years. Because you don't even know to ask for those things either.
Nope.
The person who's been here for 20 years,
they have a sense of where you are in terms of your situation. Like, okay, I've been here 20 years, but I know how these people move. I know where I need to put myself to best take advantage of it. I know who's going to try to over leverage, who's going to under leverage. A young person's not going to know what questions to even ask. How do you avoid somebody leveraging a young person? You don't. They just get leveraged naturally. They don't know any better. Mm-hmm. The bigger question sometimes be the young people don't get themselves there. The 14, 15-year-old doesn't just get themselves to this party, this interview, this meeting with this exec. Somebody has to take them there.
Right, but that person normally also is
normally also is just
as an experience.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you as the adult know what you're signing your kid up for. There was a whole, because it's been a while since we've been in person, there was a whole damn Quiet on the Set documentary talking about Nickelodeon. And how many child predators that they had hired.
Yeah, that too was a situation where the parents. So
some parents were a part of it.
No, but the parents were showing up, and either they were trying to protect the children from the gray areas that they were trying to create. Because what normally happens is you create a gray area, right? Especially when there's parents involved.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
You have to. Like, I'm a mom in real life. I don't know you people. I'm going to come here and I'm going to try to be a mom. So let's start creating these gray areas because you don't really know this industry, right?
Nope.
And so what you do is you try to create a gray area for the women to be comfortable. Can't create no gray area for a lot of men. No. That's what the Nickelodeon thing is. What you cannot do is create them gray areas and make a soft space for no man.
No.
That's the number one thing that I observed on that.
And that's video. What I was going to get to. I'm glad you brought it up.
The dads.
Damn near all of them, in some way, shape, or form. Almost every single father they interviewed, almost every single one of them said something wasn't right. I knew something wasn't right, and I would want to be there, and I would like tell the mother, "Hey, I might not be able to be there, but half of you need to pay attention."
And real definitive instructions with these women.
Yes.
Like the women, one of the women came on and she said, no, my ex-husband did tell me that I needed to do, A, B, and C and X, Y, and Z and don't allow this because of that.
But who are you? You're my ex-husband. Anyway. Exactly. You're my ex-husband. I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah, because you're the ex. So now
you're not going to tell me what to do.
Yeah, for some reason I don't want your leadership anymore, even though this is our kid. And you know, the kids definitely fell victim to the prey that, you know, they fell victim as prey to the people to the predators who were there, because the predators were definitely in the house.
And here's the thing, people, y'all remember this. The predators don't just out there just winging it. They make sure they look at who they want and look at who surrounds this kid. If you look at this kid from a broken home, they have a field day.
And in a lot of cases, that's when you enter those kind of industries. It's very rare that like you just have just a normal ass life, and then like 2-parent household, everybody's just kind of chilling. This you magically get this opportunity, and it, like no, more than likely like you're probably part of some type of thing at your school, and you they're 98% of the time because you don't really want to be at home, so you lean into this very heavily, and then you get a break, and then now insert parent here is pushing you to go do the thing. And we know it, we've seen it over the years. How many child actors, regardless of whether or not you know the whole story or not, you can look down the list over the years. Shirley Temple, all the way down on how many people.
He was way back.
It's all the way back.
So
we were
they
having her.
Yes. It's been a thing.
It's been a thing. They had her. There was clips they were showing of old movies that had Shirley Temple in. She's 6 years old. She's 6. Around a bunch of grown ass men, they passing her around. She's singing a song. They swinging her here, swinging her there. You could look at it and think this is fucked. You could look at it. Just and this is in context. It looks bad. Yeah. I'm not looking at it with sinister eyes. Like, no, this is what you presented. Yes. Why is she the one motivating a bunch of sailors to go out on shore leave? We gonna put Shirley Temple out here. She gonna hit a little piggyback, and now all these niggas are like, great, now we're ready to fight. What are you talking about?
As a child, it doesn't look like that, right?
As a kid, you're not thinking anything of it.
It doesn't look like that, but as an adult in the room looking at that, you'd be like, what?
Wait a goddamn minute.
Oh,
yeah, what the hell's going on?
Well, why we got Shirley Temple in the mix? Yeah. Like, that doesn't even add up.
You could literally, there was certain, and like I said, I'm not going to go a conversation about it, but there are certain clips that they were showing of her career where all you needed to do was replace her with any adult woman in a sexual.
Wow.
Like if you just, or like pop her out, put a grown woman in that spot with the same exact dialogue, and it's a sex scene.
And I want to say she came out and made a statement about her
over the years.
Yeah,
several times.
It was her mom who kept her super covered, or they tried her and her mother.
They tried her and her mother.
That's not her.
Because she went to one room. Yeah, Shirley went to a one room to meet with this guy, and her mother went to a room to meet with this other guy. Yeah. But they were talking about different things. Like the guy was like, "Oh, I want to give you a deal for this," to the mother, and this other guy's like, "Oh, and I'm gonna work with Shirley on this." And the guy with Shirley's like, "Hey, you trying to smash?" I think she said she was like 11 or 12.
Oh my
God! Hey, you trying to flip, dip, tug a grip over here?
I'm not playing.
And the mother upstairs, 2 floors up, getting the same conversation. Wow. She said like they eventually then just meet each other back in the main room, and
never talked about it.
But the mother inferred it, and Shirley inferred it, and she's like, I knew what my mother was saying, and she knew what I was saying. Oh my God. Where in essence we both know that we both got proposition, we both ended up saying no. Now we're both here.
Yeah.
She said I had the guy he got naked. I laughed at him. I didn't know what the fuck he wanted.
Oh my God.
So I didn't know what the fuck he wanted from me. I was like, what do you want? But of course, if you a guy and the woman laugh at you, regardless of how old she is, like, I don't give a shit how rock solid you was.
That's gonna do something to you.
It's gonna fuck with your mental. It's gonna fuck with you.
Real quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Got a little giggle. She had a little giggle too.
Oh my
God.
That nigga
make you feel real small, real quick.
God. And the crazy thing is, we're talking about Shirley Temple, which was the 1920s, 1930s.
Here we are in the 2020s.
And it's prevalent.
Yeah, because
across the board, everywhere.
It's a culture. So when you come into it, you know, there's always bad apples, right? There's always, you know, people trying to come into your organizations and do seedy shit, right? But the problem is that when you like, no, that's allowed here. No, you can do that here. Yeah, no, let's keep that going here. That's when the culture really becomes exactly what it is, and it's, you know, it goes on generation after generation.
That is very true.
You know, you have people who become in very high leadership positions, very powerful positions. You have money, you have power, and then you still keep the shit going.
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
People don't understand about when you get to that level of power, which is, we can conceive it, we can think about it, but when you get to that point, and somebody opens a gate for you and say, you have ultimate power. Basically, you either thumbs up or thumbs down. You can influence someone's career based on how you think. That's the problem with absolute power. Absolute power absolutely corrupts, because at that point morality starts to go back. Because
I think it's more than morality goes back. I think it's like your vindictive nature comes out. Like, people did me dirty, so I'm gonna do people dirty too.
Because that's just who you are.
That's
I
guess not morality goes out the window. You just never really
had it. Yeah. Because really, I don't want to say I don't know people, because I do know people like this. But ideally, you are someone who recognizes how much shit you had to wade through to get to where you are, and you make it so that if I had to wade through 10 pounds of shit to get to where I'm at now, maybe the next person has to wade through 8. And ideally, when that person gets there, they make it so the next person has to go through 6. And then ideally, we keep doing it correctly. We get to where now we're just going through a pound of shit a day. All right, you go through that, and then you're good on the opposite side. I got you. That's ideally what should happen. Idealistically, that's what should happen.
The perfect thing. Yes,
that's
right,
a perfect pyramid. Each
down.
person makes it just a little bit easier for the next person. And we see it across industries where people say, like, "Oh, this guy took me under his wing, and he helped me and made my career better." There's a lot of good people who are in these terrible industries. Like, we can't sit here and say, "Oh, we're gonna blow up the rap industry because, you know, people like Diddy are prevalent." Yes, there are people who are like Diddy, who are prevalent in movies, in acting, in fucking gaming, in
all industry.
Pick us industry. Pick industry.
Yes, they do.
So you can't sit here and say, "Oh, we just gotta purge them all out." You're not gonna be able to, because for every person who's outward, there's like 7 people behind them who also helped them. You think Diddy's just gonna get all this shit to be under wraps all these years by himself? How the fuck? No one man can do all the shit he's done. You can't even acquire 1,000 bottles of baby oil by yourself. No. Where the fuck you gonna put it? How you gonna traverse it?
Not big enough. The Target. I mean, is anybody going to the local Target and try to? Are there even
1,000 bottles that are just to purchase? I said you got a pallet. You got a shipment. You got a pallet.
You ordered that. Yes, you did. Wow, I didn't think about that. That whole pallet came to your door.
Yeah. That's your shit, all of it.
Wow.
That's all.
With the little, then you hit him with the little Johnson. Thank you for your patronage.
Absolutely.
Yes, you had to sign off on that shit. Somebody had to move it with a forklift into the other room,
and you paid extra for that part.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you really look at it. Like, we'll look at we'll use this one individual scenario. How many different people have to naturally be involved for these things to occur?
Especially the R. Kelly situation, y'all. Let's be real.
R. Kelly can't even read or write.
Yeah.
How the fuck?
Yeah,
how do you book a flight?
Too much. He's going way too much.
That shit was hieroglyphics to him. That he booked a flight, he got people out here? No, stop. He's the one who went to jail. But my thing is, just like with Diddy, who else was a part of that?
Well, you know, they're calling out all types of celebrities, which is weirding me out, because it's more than the celebrities.
It's not the celebrities.
At the front.
That's
this is such a... There's
underlings, there's assistants, there's bodyguards.
You are looking at the tip of the iceberg. We're looking at this, but under that water, it's about this big, because it takes that many.
It takes that many people.
Right.
It takes the chefs. It takes the the bartenders. It takes the guy who's going to drive everybody to and fro. It's the doctors that he hired to make sure that all of y'all can make it through the weekend. It's the people who okayed with one nigga getting 17 different people's medical records.
Come on, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you really want to look at it.
Hold on, where'd they get the bed from?
50 feet? How do you get that?
Who manufactured that mattress? Like,
Tempur-Pedic, goddammit?
what type of sheet is this? Where'd you get these sheets
My
from?
question is, who
God damn.
you right? How much of a freak you gotta be to get a 50-foot bed?
Like,
You gotta be a freak ass
this
nigga.
is custom made.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's custom made.
And all of the linens and fabrics that go with it. Okay?
Exactly.
Yes.
All of it.
All the whole situation.
And you know what's
So-
fucked? If I recall correctly, they had regular size pillows on that bitch. Like,
Stop
what
it.
the fuck are you talking about?
Stop it.
No.
I feel like that's all I'm saying.
They
Yeah.
had regular size pillows on that motherfucker.
Oh my
Like,
God.
this 50 feet, y'all got a regular king size pillow and said, beep, beep. That's enough. That's real pleasant. Like, I get your head not that damn big, but the bed is ginormous.
Good Lord.
But then you look over the years, and this is like threads of photos of like over the years, like now because things are starting to make sense. Different conversations are starting to make more sense. People saying shit on the slide make more sense. You got thousands of videos and photos of people in that bed, around that bed, different groups, different age groups in the bed. Why? Who needs a 50-foot bed? You're a freak ass nigga for that kind of shit. Ain't nothing wrong being a freak. Ain't nothing wrong being a freak. Don't get it twisted. You a nigga who like 1,000 bottles of baby oil in ketamine with your pussy, fine.
What? Hold on. You think baby oil and pussy go together? What
Baby
we talking
oil,
about?
ketamine, and that's what you want to do.
I
That's
don't
what they
know.
was doing.
I don't know.
If that's what you want to do,
I didn't
fine.
think that's what the baby oil was for. No.
I'm
a
hoping
very
that's not what it's for.
situation.
But
That's all.
I've heard a lot of stupid people say, bro, he's getting arrested for being a freak.
No.
He's not. He's getting arrested for being a piece of shit individual. He's getting arrested for blowing up people's cars. He's getting arrested for chaining people up and keeping them as sex slaves for months on end. He's going to jail for drugging people and violating them when they were drugged. He's going to jail because of a laundry list of other things.
It's like a list, and you can just go down.
You can just go down.
Exactly.
All
It's
you
not
need
just
to
freak.
you
It's
got- it's
not
not
just
just
being
freak.
a super freak.
No.
being a super freak is nothing. Being a drag is nothing.
Nope.
It's literally saying, I'm not letting you out of this place for the next 2 weeks. You're going to be here and you're going to fuck wherever the fuck I put in front of you
Yes.
for the next 2 weeks. And if you dehydrated, we got an IV specialist on standby.
Oh my
He's
goodness.
going to hydrate your ass.
A doctor who, by the way, took an oath that I will not do any fucked up shit like this. So if a guy comes in and
He
listen,
took a hypocrisy oath, not a Hippocratic oath, a hypocrisy oath.
there you go. That's exactly what he took. And that bitch should get his license taken away. Because here's the thing: if you can do that, what else can you do? What else
Some
would you
people
do?
are just
Now, what else? No, what else are you actively doing? Because no one just picks. If you're that deep where you are now working with somebody to actively make sure that like all your niggas is good, and I'm gonna make sure that like everybody coochie and dick still work throughout the entire weekend, and make sure that we can make sure they get detoxed appropriately, so you ain't gotta worry about it. And then if anybody have any issues at all, you get the documentation. That's not the only person you're doing it for. You weren't just picked randomly. No random doctor is going to do that shit for you.
No, they're
You
not.
know somebody who knows somebody who's like, hey, if you need to do any of this free shit, call this nigga right here.
Yeah, he's part of the black market.
Because guess what? There's an industry and a market everywhere for everything.
Everything. That is true.
Legitimate and illegitimate. There are legitimate doctors who will help you and illegitimate doctors who will help you.
That is true. If you got the money,
I mean, let's be real. If I lose my practice as a doctor, what you think I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna go keep my practice as a doctor in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, like, let's just be real here. I have to. This is a very specialized skill.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I've invested a lot into this. Okay,
Time, money, effort.
Like, come on, you gonna take my hair license and I'm gonna not do hair no more? That would be crazy.
I won't do it.
Like, no, because there's people who's willing to come anywhere.
Yep.
There's always a market. So absolutely no. There's people gonna show up for it.
It just tells you the mindset of it. So it's almost like people will take their morality and just
They never had it. Some people never had it. Some people went to medical school just to make a good earnings. Like, I'm a hustler. Like, my job is to get that money.
I'm smart enough that I can do it.
Yeah. And that's just the bottom line. Like, to you, it's, something super humble and, we're supposed to take care of the people. To me, this is just how I make my money. I don't care about your body parts. Like, what?
Because think about it. How many people over the years have been arrested as doctors?
A lot.
For doing shit jobs as a doctor. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about none of these people.
I give them money.
It pays me really well and it allows me to do other stuff I want to do, like go get a Diddy party. Like, I'd rather do that with me. I can't be bothered taking care of these people.
No, but Diddy, it's gonna be. I'm gonna meet all the stars,
and
meet all the stuff.
The lifestyle too. Right?
It's a lifestyle that comes with that.
Some doctors are overburdened, right?
Yeah.
And then some like that. Hell, I went to school doing all this, and y'all gonna turn me into the slave? Absolutely not. Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
And it's also less work, and I'll probably get paid more.
And we've seen it.
I can do basic
And again,
shit.
this is us dangling stuff in front of people. So again, it's at any industry, right?
Yeah.
People gonna dangle in front of shiny things in front of you, and you gotta choose. You're gonna keep your integrity in order, or you gonna, take a little ride on the outside.
I'll even double it and make it a positive sentence. Everybody knows somebody who has fixed or done something for you and has done it successfully without ever having a piece of paper that says they can do it.
That's true.
How many people grew up knowing somebody who knew how to work on cars?
Yep.
Who
The
are listening to this podcast?
uncertified mechanic.
Yep.
The unlicensed contractor. We're gonna call these people up. They're gonna come in a little cheaper sometimes.
Yep.
They're on their way right now, and a lot of them, oh no, I'm available right now. Why the hell is you available right now?
Hey, but he fuck it up. You know the guy who he can make a mean insert thing here. You need to build a nigga to build a table, some steps for you, a ladder. You need him to make a portrait of you and your family out of wood. He can do it. He might be an alcoholic. You might just need to pay him in a pack of beer and in a blunt, and he good. You ain't got to pay him really nothing. Yeah. But he fuck it up. It'd be done by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Looking just as good as the nigga you was gonna have to pay $2,000 for.
That is so goddamn.
There's so many things that people it's just natural. People are always gonna go for the cheaper, easier option.
Yep.
Especially if I know what am I paying for?
Yes.
What am I actually paying for? I'm paying for you to say that you can do it, but this guy can do it too.
He can do it cheaper though.
He can do it cheaper, and he can do it when I need it, and I ain't got a schedule with him. I ain't home whenever the hell I feel like it. Hey man, remember the stairs you put in the other week? Yeah, the one in Town Creek. I did it at night. I can leave a 6-pack of beer on the step. By morning, that stair gonna be good.
Facts.
That's all.
I ain't gotta wait no window between 10 and 6. Hope for you to show up at 5:45. Talking about saying you ain't got your damn hammer and you done got the wrong size wood. I'll see you tomorrow. No,
he gonna be on point. He gonna be on time, and he gonna
he'll
make
be
sure.
there 20 minutes after I call him.
Right there, get that little side money, boop boop, and now you don't gotta give him cash. You just
cash
tap him.
Yeah.
Emo, boom,
Easy.
done. And that's what we're dealing with. The flip side of that though is nowadays, like for the cars, for instance, you can get a guy going in and fix your car. Can't do that shit no more.
I mean, you can and you can't, right? You still gotta know who to call, and you still gotta have the proper hookup. You gotta have access to the proper stuff. Because now all the cars got the computer systems in it. Your hookup has to have access to the computer systems now. Yeah.
Yep. That's why
it just takes a different level of knowledge. But that's not saying it's unobtainable.
No.
It's not saying that you can't get to the stage where you could maintenance your own shit. If you know what you need and you can acquire what you need, there's nothing wrong with that.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You can still fix your car. It just takes one more hurdle. Back in the day, when your transportation was fucked up, it was some guy named Jim. He came by with a shotgun. He made sure your transportation changed.
Yeah.
It just, here's Barry Sue. She's just as good as Bobby, who we just got rid of because his leg got broke. Put the bridle in her mouth. Attach the shit to the back of her. You're good to go.
Yeah.
There's always ways around it. But like, people are so busy worried about like oh my God, what celebrity? And I always said that like that's not the person who I care about.
Yeah.
I care about all the little people whose names would never be in a documentation. Because all of those people are the actual reason that is successful. One person, you got 5 different businesses, you got to be here and there and everywhere, yet you can still manage and micromanage all these little things by yourself? No. Eventually you install people in place to make sure that I don't have to worry about this. Yeah. I install a guy who makes sure that the drugs are good and not tainted because I got a certain name showing up tonight. I got the person who makes sure that the girls who pull up match this guy's flavor.
Yep.
Please peep what I just said. Girls, not women. I choose words for a reason. There are people who were assigned to do these tasks. There are people who are assigned to make sure that he makes it from point A to point B and that he can be his girl and nobody know about it. You might say I was the former insert here, but guess what? Former means that you used to do it all the time.
Oh, that is true.
I don't care. Like, you can sit here. There's a guy who I've seen a couple times. He's like, I'm his former bodyguard. Yeah, but you worked for him for like 10 years. Which means for 10 years, you were just as big of a piece of shit as he was. Because guess what? He's been like that since he was in college.
Yeah, I heard that story.
So, for 10 years, it was cool, but then the check wasn't big enough. Or you recorded that not because you thought it was right, but because you want to leverage your position so that you can make a couple extra dollars. Because if I'm going to sacrifice my soul, I might as well at least get paid for it.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I mean, it's not.
It's always
it's self-preservation.
Like,
I get it.
Leveraging something, or keeping something for self, right? Like, I have to look out for myself here, because again, I'll go out of this situation,
and the situation will still be the same when I leave.
Yeah, and that's how we started off. You'll take something for the nothing.
Yeah,
and you just have nothing for it.
And then it comes back to haunt you. It comes back to haunt you, and because again,
you're trying to clean conscious.
Yeah,
let me sit down on this YouTube and tell everybody the truth because I had sinned.
Yeah, okay. And the one guy, I think Jay Dilla, because I don't know who he is, but he said, I saw Puffy slap the shit out of his mama. I told him, don't do that in front of me no more. First of all, you continue to work after he slapped the shit out of his mama.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, you slapped your mama. That's not the first time you slapped your mama.
Oh, no.
Look, let's cross face speak.
P. Diddy slapped his mama. He said, I saw P. Diddy slap his mama.
Like, what?
Slap his
Usually some people like that, you would think have some level of like, okay, I beat every bitch, but I ain't gonna beat my mama. But
if you beat your mother, then that means you beating everybody.
Exactly, but that's the other side of it.
Let's just be real here.
There you go.
Like, that's savage. Like, that's a whole nother. Like, you don't love nobody. You can't.
You don't love nobody.
You don't need. If you listen, that first relationship, everything. Mother, father. If you hate your mama or hate your daddy, that's a hard knock life forever. You don't like women or men. If you don't like your mother, how do you respect the man? Like, who do that woman belong to?
See?
Because how do you respect the man and you slapping on women? You don't respect nobody. You just like, fuck it.
And that's why I said, if you saw him slap his mama like that, and you continue to work with him, it wasn't like he said, after that I quit. No, he continued working years
you
with him.
Can't say that. That man had bills to pay. He was just going, you slap your mother and then I'm supposed to quit and then somebody else take my job? How was that
decision you had to make? I know morally I should walk away, but financially my pocket is fat. Like I got to say,
he's making sure he don't hit his mom. Like,
my mama was here.
My mom was taking care of
my mama ain't gonna
so I'm keeping this job. And those jobs are hard. The job thing is hard because the other side to it is you're not going to get this same job.
No. You're not going to get the same job, the same opportunity. It's going to be vastly different. You're not at McDonald's and going to go to Burger King. No. You're not going to work for a day today and then another rapper tomorrow. Right. It's not like you work like it's a straight line. Sometimes that's your only in. Yeah, that's your only in, and
like, this man done put me in a crazy state. I mean, we can talk shit about these people all day, but that's a crazy place to be put in. You slapping your mother in front of me? Man.
But, so here's the thing. There are people who, like Jay Dilla, who will say, and like I said, I'm not sure if it was him or not. And I'm going to put words in his mouth for you to make sure we're clear.
Yeah.
But let's say it is him. Like, you made that call. That was cool with you. Some people love their mama, respect their mama, would say, I don't give a fuck what this nigga has for me. I'm done.
Yep.
There's some people who will sit there and say, oh, I watch you smack your girl. I'm done with you. There's some people who are like, hey, as long as you don't put your hands on nobody around me, I'm cool. Like, you meet your people.
But it's levels also.
Exactly.
Because, okay, look. When you're in entertainment world, right, I assume that you can make a certain amount of money in that arena, that you might not be qualified to make that amount of money in a different arena, right? Like maybe you out there in the six-figure world and you don't hold a degree. You don't necessarily have a specialized skill. So when I keep my morals intact and I taught you the deuces because you slapping the shit out of your mother like that, I don't even want to say that out of my mouth. That sounds so
your own mother, not somebody else's mama. Your own.
Your own mama. Your own mama.
What?
Yes.
Most people, as you see, is like damn. Out of all the people you would have love for, you would think that's like a wall.
But your mama never whooped your ass the way your ass should have been whooped. That's what that, like, cause what? You put your hands on me, I'm calling up that man. Okay?
Hello.
That, cause I'm guarantee you that your father knew me first. Okay? Nah, he going to war for me. Touch me if you want to.
Oh, you gonna
touch me if you, and then I'm gonna call my father. Cause I'm protected as a woman. And I'm gonna continue to show you that I'm protected. Even you could be 7 years old. You can be 7 years old. I'm telling your daddy and I'm telling my daddy.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we coming down on you real hard. So I'm like, what?
Because you did that early. Because it's the mentality of understanding that like every woman's got somebody. But with a guy like that, you understand that every woman has somebody. So you try to create enough separation from those people so that you don't have to worry about that. And she don't feel comfortable.
Yep.
Like, and Cassie even mentioned it. I think we maybe talked about it in the last pod. That she at some point was like, I'm not going to run away because I know somebody I know is going to get hurt because of it.
Wow.
Because I've tried this too many times, and every time I've gotten away, he's found some way to find me. And the last time he was like, look, next time I have to come find you, I'm going to cut short and I'm going to just get people who are around you. Because you don't want them to get hurt, yeah? Wow. People like that will always find a way.
Let's just be real. This is just like a couple
you
of
go
dollars.
in your car, like, on some real shit, like, what is, you got a pallet. You know what I mean? Yep. You got a pallet. Oh, shit.
I don't even know where to order that from. Like, that's the other part. Where do
you can't go to Walmart.com? No. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go to Johnson & Johnson's website. You gotta go to the marketing department. You gotta call them and say, listen, I'm trying to open up a store. It's called My House. I need to talk to the distribution center. You gotta set up a payment plan. Every 6 months, y'all gotta talk about your contract. Talking about some, we said you
repurchase.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not gonna say, you don't get 1,000. There's no way. They don't expire in this house. I guarantee you.
No.
He ain't never seen a bottle expire.
I'm not shipping out 1,000. One pallet. Like that's
one pallet of 1,000, and that's just
and that's just it. No, we're setting this contract out. No, we need to see you at least every
3 months.
And think about it. Puff didn't have one house.
Multiple
houses throughout the world.
This is the one house that they rated.
The one.
Yeah.
So he got L.A., Miami, New York, London, all the other places he has homes. So can you imagine you shipping that all over the world?
Let's just say, well, now we know why Johnson & Johnson's still in business. Like, let's just
single-handedly. Why?
Yep.
So here's the thing: in 6 months, if Johnson & Johnson filed for bankruptcy, we gonna know.
We gonna know why.
We're gonna know why.
We're gonna know.
Absolutely.
And it's crazy. And the other thing is, we also noticed that since Puff has been arrested, a lot of high-end people are now stepping down from
resigning from their jobs. Yeah,
CEO of our Sony, CEO of something else, and another CEO. Kevin Lyles is one. Mm-hmm. He's stepping down. He said, "You gotta step down and do some other things."
Yeah,
because the one thing people fail to realize is once the FBI, those Alphabet boys grab you, they got all the paperwork. They're coming after everybody. So it's best that you like step down, probably disappear, or do like Russell Simmons. Said, I'm sorry, I'm leaving the country. And his ass has been in Bali ever since. He's been sitting doing yoga retreats in Bali. Because
you're better off collecting your your retirement, getting that whole thing started. All that stuff started before the feds can move in. I mean, you have to weigh in your options. That's what they've been doing all of these years. Is it a risk involved? Yes, it's a risk. And is it worth me taking the risk? Yeah. These people said yeah. Because again, some of these jobs don't really they don't go right on into the real world and you earn the same amount of money. It's like, it's worth me taking this risk for however long they were willing to take the risk, I believe. And it's going to be what it's going to be.
And that's a very true statement, and it's going to get uglier. And if we just take it from Puff to just everyday normal people, this shit like that's happening. They're not paying them millions of dollars. They're just surviving. There's people just doing shit to women and men and kids. And the kids get caught in the middle of this shit, and we sit there like, what the hell? What's going on in the world? The world really hasn't changed. The world technology's made it more noticeable.
There's more transparency going on. So now when you go on Instagram or wherever you get your news, source from, you'll see, more killings or more kidnappings or, just more things that you would have seen because you have more news sources. But these things been going on. But we can't let high profile people just do whatever they want to do.
No.
And keep industries super closed so people can't just get through them because why is the downtrodden the only people with talents? Crazy concept.
Ain't that the truth?
That's crazy.
And you see it everywhere. It's some kid in some farm land place or some city or some place, they grab them. And of course, if you look at it, the parents don't have the money. So if somebody comes to your kid and says, listen, you got talent, I'll pay you $100,000 an episode or whatever. That parent, they're all in because they've hit the gravy train. Because if it wasn't for that kid and the talent, they'll be stuck there. They'll die there.
Yeah. So
whatever that kid has to go through, they'll overlook it because, kids are fucked up on drugs now. And come back later and say, my mama knew I was getting abused. But since I got that role.
I mean, that goes back to the Nickelodeon situation where it's like, the I'm sorry, kids know when they in the hood. Let's just be real.
They do.
The kids want more too. They like, shoot, why my mama didn't come pick me up in in the Mercedes truck? Why I don't got 12 shoes to choose from in 1 week. Only 7 days in a week and you want 12 shoes to choose from. Get your ass out of it. But that's true. That's what's put in front of us.
Yes.
So no matter what your age is, my daughter was probably 4-something years old talking about I need some Gucci pants. You can barely talk. Where did you get that from?
Gucci pants.
There she has older siblings and cousins though. But they become aware is the point I'm making, right? Is they become very aware, and it's like when somebody presents an opportunity in front of you, you know that you're about to carry your mother someplace else. And just the nature of a child, you would want to.
Yes.
That was the one black boy from, I think it was All That. That was the issue with him and his mom, right?
Wow.
He wanted to take his mama, quote unquote, out the hood. This is the piece. This is how we're gonna do it, Mom. He's probably 12 to 14 years old, and the mom is like, I don't like a lot of shit these people got to offer us. That's straight up. You know how black moms are.
Oh, yeah.
You know how black moms are. She didn't like it. She was
but that's if there were more black moms in mothers you would have less kids out here getting fucked over.
No, but
some of y'all need to give a fuck about your goddamn kids.
And he still got fucked over because they asked him to go. They didn't invite him back to the next season. I don't know if you remember this one piece, right? They didn't invite him back because the mom was like, no, some of these clips, they're too racially, like, specific to my kid.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And it's not, no, we need to switch some of this stuff up. Me going over here, no, I'm staying right here. She was that type of mom.
Okay.
And they was just like,
she's too Hispanic.
He's a good actor, but we're not going to invite him back because basically you're a bitch and we don't feel like dealing with you. I mean, that's in a nutshell, right? That's basically what they said. And you know how that boy felt about her because you're going to assume the shoes are going to slow down. You know, we're going to have to move soon because, you know, we got to go back to where we came from. That resentment, their relationship still tore up. That man, 30-some-odd years old.
No.
He's still mad. He sat on that documentary still mad.
Mad because his mother tried to protect him.
Even
understood that what they doing ain't it.
That's
like,
it.
you can do it, but you gotta have some
a certain
word.
type of way.
Yes.
And she was expecting for them to uphold, first of all, protect these children. Why would you want me over here when my child is right here?
Why would you not want the parents to see their kids perform?
Or why would you, as a man in the space, why would you not want another person present to make sure that there could be no weird claims and no gray areas for you?
Exactly.
So you know, because it was another mom who called out the gray area for the other kid from Drake and Josh, right? Son, why is a grown-ass man calling my house looking for you?
Throwing a temper tantrum.
Over you, a temper tantrum over the phone. And I can hear it because I'm a whole grown-ass adult. You know how you can hear y'all can hear the shit that man's saying to you. Son, come into my office real quick. I need to ask you some questions. He was dating her daughter, but being humped by that other man, one of the producers. Okay?
No.
Yeah. That was the one whose dad told the mom, listen,
you need to pay attention.
You better
something about this ain't right.
To the point where around these men around my kid.
To the point where ultimately, when they finally, like, I think towards the end of it, and I don't remember exactly because I didn't watch the last like 2 episodes of it. But like I saw clips of it. But he was hurt, like in tears, because he's like, I tried. He's like, I tried to tell her this shit ain't it, and she refused to listen to me, and now my son had to live his whole life because he had to give up the bum because she was just gonna let.
And it's such a grooming. So like they're not.
It's
not
bad
like
too.
They're not just like that shit not like that.
No, the one girl, the one biggest girl that they said, and the one biggest person who we all know got clipped by it, who never has yet to tell her story, is Amanda Bynes. Everything about Amanda Bynes' career, if you really look at it,
she's the most silent, right?
She's the one who's the most quiet, but that's because she had to eat the most shit.
She had one of the biggest successes too.
Yes, she traded off a lot for that. A lot of which she's never talked about. It probably will never talk about. But that's the unfortunate part is that she's somebody who should have been way bigger than she actually was. She was extremely talented as a young girl.
Yeah.
Who then got caught up and got played with by all these grown-ass men who gave her childhood and ruined the rest of her life. So she had to now, as an adult, try to find her way through this. Wow. After going through drugs in her teenage years and being a drug addict and now trying to come on the opposite side of that, she's one of the key people who would have tanked every person in that damn interview. She could have taken every last one of them if they had talked to her if she wanted to speak. She didn't want to speak. There's a reason for that. Because I think if she spoke, she wouldn't be here. Because you would have to then remember.
She had to relive it.
And would have to relive it.
You don't tell a story. You
can't tell, you have to live it.
Yeah.
But you have to live it every day. And you probably have just found a spot where you don't have to live it. And now this thing comes out. And like there were people who were around that time who were like, hey, never happened to me, never happened to me. A lot of y'all had solid people around you who prevented it from happening. You didn't realize it. But for every person who you were on the set with who didn't have to worry about it, there was 2 other people who did.
I mean, you need the people who don't have to worry about it
To make it look legitimate.
Yeah.
Because everybody got to worry about it.
Yeah, you got to create a baseline because I have to make you seem crazy. You know, you're like, hey, you like Shirley Temple and her mom, right? They'll look at each other like, hey. And like, no, bitch, why are you looking at me with that same hate that I got that same hate in my eyes. But if you say hey, and I don't know what your hey means, and you just looking at me, then I'm not going to divulge what's happening because it doesn't click, right?
Absolutely.
And so you have to create those people who really truly were safe there.
Oh,
you know, like your mom's not going to pick up the phone and call me up. I got to bother the people whose mom's not going to, pick up the phone and call them up. They spoke about one young lady who was receiving emails from one of the producers there. And I want to say at some point the mother, was like, why is this man emailing you? And eventually it dead the situation because mom was like, she don't just be receiving emails and I don't see the little girl emails. Like,
why are you emailing her? If you're not on the stage doing what you're supposed to do, what you fucking emailing a kid for?
So she was never on the show, right? The young girl, she was just doing, I guess, attempting to be, right? Come to find out, when stuff got to coming out, they reached out to the mom and said, hey, we found that this guy who eventually ended up touching and molesting on another person, that he was sending emails to your daughter that we need as proof that this was, basically, I guess, an attempt to groom people. But yeah, that's how moms be in a crazy position. And then the kids just wanted something. The talent piece.
Right.
It's not just the kids, it's the talent pieces, right?
Yes.
Like these people, R. Kelly situations, these young girls really wanted to be, big
in the movies, in the
Yep.
TV shows, whatever.
And some people would have tangoed. Let's just be real.
Some people are like understanding, like, this is what I'm going to trade off.
Right.
I'm going to accept that. But for and that's the thing. Like, we've had a conversation to begin with. Like, that happens.
Yeah.
People just accept that's what's like. I want you trade this, and I'm okay with trading it. And I'm not advocating for the person who's trading it. You made a choice.
Right.
Yes.
You've accepted that. I'm advocating for the person who didn't have a choice. The person who didn't understand what choice they had,
or they couldn't say stop. This is enough. Or actually, I didn't sign up for this.
and didn't know how.
Because
Didn't know how to
nobody signed up
articulate.
to get their ass whooped.
Nobody.
Nobody signed up for that. I didn't want to. No, I didn't sign up for that, sir. Like, what are you doing? You're doing too much. That's the too much. So it was a lot of things that was just like, this is too much. Like all of those producers that was in those positions at Nickelodeon, I don't even think they were like those types of people. Like they were gifted these positions, right? So
but here's the thing: you get a head guy who's like this,
who was technically gifted his position also, right? Because this was like a new thing that they were trying to come along, and they were like, "Hey, let's just slide this kid into this position because let's see what he'll do. This such and such son."
Yeah.
And then you bring in a whole team under you
Then
who's
you
like
call all
you.
your friends who are just as weird as you, because y'all done went through all the weird ass schools, all the rich boy weird schools, and all the rich boy weird shit in the background. And then,
Exactly.
And then now you all got the same access.
Yeah, to these groups of young people.
Because as I said before,
you
you make it easier for the people behind you once you get where you're trying to go.
So not necessarily your talent, but the people literally. Because we're going to assume that, if you want to party, the people who's bringing those people to the party, they want to party too.
And they want to bring the same people that you want to party with.
Yeah.
And if I want me a bunch of badass white girls,
yeah,
then I'm going to have me friends
who
and
also
people
want those
who also want white girls.
Yeah.
If I want me a bunch of beautiful melanated queens, then I get a bunch of people who want melanated queens too.
Absolutely.
You bring people around you who fuck the same shit you fuck.
Birds of a feather.
Flock together.
Yeah.
And that's very true. And
The problem with that whole scenario was when everybody is on one accord, who do you go to?
no one.
You don't.
Because you have gatekeepers.
And the gatekeepers
Yeah.
are the same people
They're all the same.
as the people that you're trying to run from.
Yeah.
It's like being in a horror movie and somebody kicked in your back window and you running down the hallway and you get in the elevator, you get to the bottom of it, and all of a sudden the doorman tells us, "What's going on? What's you all right? Yeah, somebody broke into my apartment, and I ran out here. Oh, yeah, sure, not a problem. Let me lead you over here so we can make sure that you're safe." And then you're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna call the cops." No, don't worry about it. We'll call the cops when we get there. Mm-hmm. Then the cop come in and he answers shit for you, and he's like, "Oh, so what happened? Did somebody get your door? No, that's unfortunate. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, we got our information. We can make sure we take care of them." Then you go out of your office and you think you got your police report, and now you see the bellman, the police officer, the nigga kicked your door in, all sitting down in the hallway
talking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, returning you back to sender.
Back to
sender.
That is so true.
Because the other niggas upstairs waiting for you.
Yeah.
Because the whole damn building is in on it.
And you've seen the scenarios. I mean, I just seen that on Lifetime the other day.
Exactly, because that happens.
On Lifetime.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Lifetime be telling you shit.
I got a police officer. I could confide in him. No, the cop is a freak. He was
She's part of the crew.
He is.
That's what you trying to say. Right here. Let's go right here.
Oh, what? If anything happened to you at all, just call me directly.
No.
You ain't got to call 911. Here's my personal number. You can call me if anything happened to you. If a cop ever hands you his personal number,
run
in the other direction. And it's just so crazy that we're allowing people to fuck up our kids for their freakish behavior, and the kids grow up fucked up.
No, it's not all the kids. See, they picking and choosing still. And people have always picked and chose the children that they're gonna play with.
Like the priests.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little boys,
they normally single family homes. You don't play with just anybody out here in this world. There's people who actually come from something. There's people who, fuck it, they don't need nothing.
Nope.
Like, all this stardom and fame and fortune, no, I'm good in my little 2-bedroom apartment. Like, drinking my little wine, smoking my little gas.
Yes.
I'm good. Like, yes. I don't need all of this. I don't need it all. So the people that you can just take advantage of and, that's going to fall victim to this lifestyle, it's not everybody. It's not everybody. You're not even going to try everybody.
No.
Everybody not even going to make it to the studio to sit down and have a conversation.
As you said, they groom. They almost like they have a checklist. Mm-hmm. Then you go down. Single, mama, check.
Yeah. Daddy who don't give a shit, check.
Living real poor and struggling from day to day, check.
Paycheck to paycheck.
Check.
Yeah.
So now, if I can throw a little money and get her out this situation and help him, that will help me. Mm-hmm. So now we all can win. Because in this sick brain, we all win.
No, we did all win.
And it's crazy.
This is a negotiation here. Right? Blacks, we're not good at negotiations. We always in our feelings and then we forget that we're actually negotiating here. Yes. Like, no. Yes. We're some of the worst people to negotiate with. Let's be real here. But we do. And it is a come up, and it's not until you lean back where you realize that you were in negotiations. And I think that's what a lot of shit happened with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Like, no, we need to renegotiate these terms. Open up this door. Open up this door. Right now. Because if not, I need my goods back. My goods is my children. Return that girl over here. Because you're not about to have no free-for-all with her. And you don't want to send her home. No. Oh, okay. But they say all of this is for, all other reasons. We got a lot of conspiracy theories going on in the background with our black celebrities. Mm-hmm. I'm not really one who's entertaining those, the theories in the background, as far as why we're coming for these men. I'm really concerned, and I would listen to someone else if they were willing to speak about it. Mm-hmm. But I'm really concerned about the level or the lack of integrity that's really happening in our black men, as far as where's the leadership? Because you can't move as a lead without integrity. And so when stuff like this happens, when you really got shit in your home, then you're allowing for stuff like this to happen. And then you want to look at us like, no, they're trying to destroy the black man. Well, hell, it looks like we just gave them everything that was needed and necessary. And they want to bring up Bill Cosby. Oh, they took Bill Cosby down because they wanted to do this and do that, or he wanted to buy this, or they needed to get this from under his house. And I'm just like, but wasn't he really? Again, it's like that gang initiation. When you first get in, I need for you to do some dirt. I need something on you, so that if you ever try to do too much or get too big or run away, I know how to get your ass right back where you need to be. And
right.
Yeah, and it's you know, that's where your integrity comes into play.
Yes.
That's that moral that's supposed to have been put in you. Like, yo, keep your integrity intact, because that's the thing that's going to allow you to stay free.
We talked about Diddy today, and Diddy is the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of guys like Diddy. They could be working for your, fire department, could be your chief, could be president, upstanding citizens, quote unquote. But they still have that little deviant behavior. So you guys got to be aware. What price are you willing to pay to get what you want? You have to ask yourself that question. Is any price worth it, or do you have integrity?
Do you have integrity, or will you keep the integrity? I think that really what it boils down to. A lot of us come to the arenas, and you start off with the integrity, and you start dangling, or they will start dangling the shiny things in front of you, the things that you want. For regular people, it's going to be in the form of, those bigger retirement plans, just those larger benefit packages for you to move up the ladder. And perhaps when you started off, your integrity was right where it was at, and it's right where it's supposed to be. But by the time you start moving up, and the things get shinier, and then the items get bigger, that's when your integrity is really going to be challenged in ways that you never quite thought it would be before, because you got families involved that depend on you, and just the things that you want involved. So you really have to take moments and time with yourself and your spiritual self to say, is this really the route that I'm going to go? And how is it going to serve me later on? Because if it's going to eat away at you later on, and you know it's going to eat away at you because it goes against the principles that you were brought up on, then you got to opt out of it. Because all money is just not good money. Time and time again, we keep seeing it.
Oh, absolutely. That's perfect. How you said that, all money ain't good money, is a very true goddamn statement.
Yeah.
So people, y'all got think about what's most important to you, and just be happy with whatever decision you make. But whatever decision you make, you have to accept it. So you can't blame anybody else about it. So with that, we're going to end this episode of One Night with the M
and T.
And people, you know what you need to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and by the way, people, we're inching closer to the 1,000 subscribers. We're getting there slowly but surely. And when that happens, we're gonna throw a big party. We're gonna have everything. We're gonna have balloons and everything when we get there. So, but just sign up and keep listening to us, and we keep telling you the way. And be careful out there. Until next time, peace and blessings.